Are you ready for me, Ralph?
Yo, yo, yo. Day 28 of the Take It Easy tour.
Take it easy, take it easy.
And we're back on the road. Oh, there we go. Hey, puppy. So we're back on the road, and thank you very much at the desert of Maine. That's just so stupid sounding. It's silly, but I did some research on it. What happened? Here's the deal. The desert of Maine, it's a sand dune, and what happened was these people bought like 400 acres of property, and they were gonna back in like 1819 or something like that, and they were going to raise potatoes. They're going to grow potatoes. And what they did is they did that, but they did not rotate their crops. So if they didn't rotate the crops, the soil basically died because it had no nutrients in it. And so the potato crop failed, and then they put sheep on it. And the sheep ate everything. They ate all the vegetation, everything. It was gone. And so what was left was this fine silt that was left over. It's not even classified as sand. It's so fine. It's not sand. It's silt, and it was left over from the glaciers. When the glaciers would encroach on land, it would grind it up every little bit of everything into a fine silt, and that's what's left. So the desert of Maine really isn't a desert. It's just fine silt, and that's about it. So we're back on the road, and we got some places to see, so let's get to it.
A few moments later.
Well, we're at our first destination, LLBean. We are in LLBean in Freeport, Maine, and I can't think of anything that I really want or need, but I may as well go in there and check it out because I'm here in Freeport, Maine, and it's LLBean. What guy does not go into LLBean when there's an LLBean? Well, we're here inside LLBean, and they have stuffed animals everywhere, and it stands to reason because they're big into hunting and fishing and everything up here in Maine. And here is a full-size moose, and you know, I saw that baby moose the other day and I said it was like 6 foot tall. Well, this one is not quite grown up, but it's still about 7 foot tall, and it's a big boy, and I don't want to come this close to a live one at all. They're big animals, no doubt about that. I mean, they would put a hurting on you. They'd make you squeal. And they got some other stuff in here. They got foxes and weasels, and there's a bobcat and a coyote and bears and a snowshoe hare and another thing. I don't know what that is up there, but they got all kinds of things going on here. And you've got a white-tailed deer, and then there's a timber wolf or a gray wolf, something like that. But they got it going on here, man. This place is huge, and they got all kinds of stuff. You could go bankrupt buying all the good stuff that they got here. It's awesome. Well, this is the LLBean store, and you've got the retail store right here that has men's and women's and kids clothing and camping and stuff like that. And then you got another store over there. That's the hunting and fishing store over there. And then over here you've got the home goods store. And this is like the whole town of Freeport, Maine is kind of based around this whole complex. They call it a campus. I guess it is. They even have concerts here. They got some kind of concerts going on from July to September because I guess summertime starts in July for them. But you can see they got a map here that just tells you all about, you know, this area and everything. But dang, what a huge store. I went in there and there's a lot of stuff I would have bought if I wasn't loaded down already. But what I did buy was mosquito netting, because where I'm going to go, there's these things called black flies. And black flies, they are mean. They'll bite you and you hurt for like 2 weeks. So I'm going to get that. But this is just a huge complex here. It's really cool. So this is Freeport, Maine, and there's LLBean. There's their boat place where they sell kayaks and bicycles and all kinds of stuff. And there's the stores right there. They got the North Face store here. Jockey, it's like an outlet place here. Got paddles, all kinds of stuff. The Mangy Moose Emporium, I hadn't heard of that. I don't know what that is. But this is Freeport, man. It's a neat little town. I thought Kennebunkport was cool. I think this is cool too.
1 hour later.
Alright guys, we're coming up to another place. Let's see what we got. And right over there is a lighthouse. We'll have to go check it out. Well, this would have been the lighthouse keeper's house, and he and his family would have stayed here throughout the year. And what he would do is he would tend to the lighthouse, which is right there. There's the lighthouse. Isn't that cool? That is awesome. And look at, you got nice boats coming up and down this river here. This is the East Dublin Lighthouse, if I remember correctly. But let's check it out, man. This is cool. This is very, very cool. So what we're doing, just walking out here to check out the lighthouse and see what it's like. It's just a, looks like it's a wooden lighthouse. It's got cedar shakes on it, all painted white. Classic New England lighthouse right here. Not very high up, but you know, it does what it's supposed to do. You got some nice boats. There's the town and port of Bath over there, B-A-T-H. We have a town called Bath in North Carolina as well. It used to be the state capital long time ago. But this is cool, you know. And then it points out there, goes out there. There's another nice boat coming up the way. Nice boat. They don't buy cheap boats around here now. They're nice. Every one of these is nice out here. You don't see junk. You got a rocky coast, a bunch of rocks and everything. Man, this is cool. Very, very cool. And I thought I saw that gray thing over there. That looks like a Navy ship that they're building over there. It's kind of angular and everything, so the radar can't pick it up. That's what I think they're doing over there. That guy there is fishing. That guy there is fishing, I think, too. He's backing up for whatever reason. But this is nice. Beautiful area. Beautiful area. Bath, Maine. Very, very cool. Well, my girlfriend got after me this morning about not seeing any video of me riding on gravel. And I bought this bike and I built this bike specifically to be a gravel runner. So to get to the lighthouse, I had to get there on the gravel. So here you go, baby. We're riding on gravel now. And the houses back here are tremendous as well. Bumped into a guy walking his dog. He probably lives right there. But the houses here are pretty fantastic too. And I tell you what, these rhododendrons, these are called rhododendrons right here. We have them in the mountains of North Carolina, and they're all done as far as their blooming goes. They're done. They've been done. But these things, I mean, they're blooming. They've been blooming the entire way I've been coming up the coast. The entire way. And there's a whole bunch of other flowers, smelly flowers that smell good. I mean, like honeysuckle and the wild blueberries and blackberries and stuff like that. They've been blooming the entire way coming up the coast. It's been pretty nice, actually. You know, motorcycling is a sensory adventure, so you get all kinds of different senses. You feel the bike, you hear the bike, you hear other sounds about with the cars and everything else, and you also get scents. You smell things, and when you pass by a dead skunk or a dead animal, it stinks. But when you pass by a flowering bush that has a good smell to it, that's pretty nice. So, and of course now we're getting the sensory of riding on this gravel road, and that's just fine. I don't mind riding on the gravel road. I built the bike for it, so it's cool. Coming up on our second destination, a beach and another lighthouse. How about that? That's cool. Let's see what we got here. Wonder if I can get there. Oh, it says no trespassing. Bummer. The lighthouse is private property, no trespassing. Well, that stinks. Well, just to let you know, that place over there is called the Hendricks Lighthouse, and it's privately owned by somebody, and they just kind of drove away. But met up with another guy that was on a walk with his wife, and he's an older guy, but he's got a BMW RT, and so he knows motorcycles. He was digging my bike, and he was talking about how this is like lobster heaven right here, because just out there I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I can see 9 lobster trap buoys right here, standing here at this beach. So it's like lobster heaven right here. So I'm gonna have a lobster roll for lunch or brunch or whatever you call it. It's after lunchtime right now, so I'll just, what do they call it, dinner? I don't know. I'm gonna have a lobster roll when I go back the other way. But it's beautiful right here. It's awesome. Maine Coast is just absolutely beautiful, and I'm gonna see if I can find another lighthouse or two to see before the day is out. So that'll be it for now. Donk and Dave out. All right, we're coming up on our next place. Permaquid Point Lighthouse. It is cold here. Oh my God, the wind coming off of the ocean, it's cold. Damn. Freezing my ass off on the bike. I'm not wearing anything but a long sleeve shirt and my jacket and then jeans. So I'm gonna have to switch. It's cold. All right, we're here at the Pemaquin Point Lighthouse here in coastal Maine, and once again, this is one of those lighthouses that's dotted along the coast, and it's made of rock, and then it's been painted or whitewashed, and I can look up there at the top of it and see that's a Fresnel lens up there. Fresnel lenses direct light quite well out there to the ocean, and it's not a tall lighthouse because it doesn't have to be a tall lighthouse, because out there in the ocean, I mean, it's up on a hill. I mean, we're on a cliff right here, so it doesn't have to be tall, not like the lighthouses in North Carolina. So it's gorgeous out here. All right, so we're up here at the top of the lighthouse. You can look around here and see all the cars and everything, and then look at the view that you've got going out.
Yeah, was it bigger?
That's pretty cool. And it's 32 steps to come up, and then 8 steps on a ladder. Come on, you can do it.
I can do it. I can do it.
Who's with you, Deb?
So look at the view that we've got here.
When you get up and close that gate, they said.
And there's Lighthouses, the Lighthouse Keeper's house. And then he would come up here and load up the fuel for the Fresnel lens. And they would use sperm whale oil instead of, they didn't have electricity way back then. So they would use oil to fuel the light, and he would have to come up with gallons and gallons of fuel to put there in the light. But that's a Fresnel lens. It's made in France. French designed it and built it, so that's pretty cool. And that thing dates back to the 1800s, so it's an old lens. Pretty cool. Alright guys, let's go down the stairs here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 7, 28, 29, 30. And we're done. Well, that was cool in spite of the guy at the lighthouse saying that I couldn't carry my helmet. That's a pretty cool looking old hotel right there too. But that was pretty neat. You know, they had a museum in there. It talked about the whaling industry a little bit and the fishing industry a lot and everything. It's a hard life to be a fisherman, no doubt about that. And so that was another lighthouse. That's like the 3rd lighthouse we've seen today. That's pretty cool. And once again, it's cold. You go along the coast here in coastal Maine, and the sea is cold, and it'll chill you to the bone. That's a neat house right there too. I like that. So, okay, well that's our 3rd lighthouse or whatever. So let's see what else we can get into.
Are you ready for me, Stifler?
Oh, yeah.